Morning, good morning. All right, there's my mic. How are you guys doing this morning? Guys, I just want to echo some sentiments that has been coming out of the mouths of my speakers this morning. One is, thank you, Jesus, that we are a part of this church. A church that doesn't simply see our spiritual growth as how well we know the Bible. Because I have a policy I live my life by, and that is that everything you do is God's work. Everything. Your business is God's work. Do you understand what I'm saying? Stop seeing it as I have a ministry work and I have a housework. Your family life is God's work. So I thank God today to be a part of this ministry that understands that evangelism is more than going into the streets with the Bible. Now that is very important. Witnessing is very important. And you know why I'm saying all of this? Because my topic today is your clientele and your market. And until you change your perspective to understand who your client really is, and who you're actually working for. When you're in the kingdom, you can't be self-employed. You're working for God. You cannot be employed by a business. You're working for God. How your boss treating you? You're working for God. Your boss treats you amazing. So your work should reflect that. So let's get into there was another thing I wanted to highlight this morning. Every single thing that has been said today, when I meet with my clients, I say those things. Guys, this is not baby food. Well, you get meat. I see in the ribeye. The big piece of salmon. Yeah? Digest it. Remember it. Go online later and watch the video again. Take notes. It is true. Your market is your choice. So let's get into it. What is your client? Who is your client? There's a thing that we say that the client is always right. The customer is always right. And so we penalize our staff because the customer is always right, no matter how arrogant or ignorant or ridiculous they are. Well, I'm here to tell you this morning that is a paradoxical statement. Because your first client is the person that represents your business. How your employees see you is reflected in the service they give to your business. Your most important client is your employee. Stop treating them like a machine. If you own a business today, remember, you want your clients to like your business. You want them to keep coming back, to feel like, guess what? When you go to KFC and the girl behind the counter treats you as though you're begging her to give you some chicken, you just go back. Yes. You know why? Because everywhere you go in Trinidad, that's what you're getting. And we blame poor work ethic. But your employees reflect the way you treat them. And so if you are having an issue with an employee and you are treating them well, the only next step, guys, for their benefit and yours, is to say bye-bye. Because when you treat your employees well and they are good human beings, which you should always assume about the people you interact with. Everybody is really just trying to do the right thing. Right? Then they will function well for you. And if they are not doing that, you are hurting their progress by not firing them. This eater food nonsense we just do in Trinidad. You want to eat a food? The business that you're working for is who allows you to eat that food. That alone calls for respect. All right? So, who is your client? The person who benefits from your service is also your employee and your customer. The person that can benefit from, oh, I repeated myself, sorry guys. The person sharing your service with others, that is both your employee and your client. When I teach a class and the students in it felt really good about it, do you know what they do? I don't have to advertise my course, They tell their friends, they tell their family, because we are very happy to find a good experience. And your client is you. Treat yourself. Our brother today said it. Pay yourself a salary. The same salary you would pay someone if they were working in your place. So that when you transition to having an employee, you don't feel the pinch in your pocket. Don't pay yourself $10,000 for a $5,000 job, and don't pay yourself $2,000 for a $5,000 job. All right? You are also your client. So how do you treat them? I feel like these words are things that everybody knows. Do I have my next slide? All right, great. Thank you, guys. Fairly, honestly, respectfully, and symbiotically. Symbiosis is a scientific term. It means that it is mutually beneficial for everybody involved. When you can create symbiosis in your business, here's what happens. You surpass the expectations of your clients. Always do better than they expected. How many of you went to the market and the lady just handed your hand a fig and it was almost ready to make punch alone? But you get it for free, and you know what? The next time you go to the market, you're going to check a stall. Yeah. Because you see, the truth of the matter is that always meeting expectations and always surpassing expectations, it is an impossible goal. Murphy has a law. What could go wrong? Going and go wrong. But if every time you have the opportunity you surpass, you know what happens? When you can't meet the goal, the client is so understanding. That's all right, Gem. I could do without it. Nah, the thing you gave me last week, that could work again this week. You make errors because you're human. And that is why when you have the opportunity to access something excellent, you reach out and you grab it. Because then you start to be defined by that. I have a family member. When he starts working in a place, he's the best employee they ever had. And as time goes by, true colors start to show. And his work ethic starts to fail because he has addiction. But do you know they take months, sometimes more than a year, to fire him? He has crashed company vehicles. He has shown up to work whenever he wants. But because of the first experience they had with him, now this not helping him, They need to let him go. Otherwise, he'll never grow. He will never realize he's wrong and he will never change. But the truth, what applies to him applies to you. If you put out something excellent, it comes right back to that. People will always expect excellence, and they will allow your humanity. So, treat people from a place of understanding, and understand that your market must be sustainable and continuous. Do you know why your fridge stops working after 5 years? That is really irritate my mom, because she's from a time when a fridge would last 20, 30, 40 years. Do you know why it has to stop working after 5 years? And that benefits you? Because if that doesn't happen, the people making the fridge can't make fridges. And when you do need a good one again, they can't give you one because they go out of business. Nobody will buy a fridge in 40 years. We have to change the way we're thinking. People who own business, not just making choices. For sure, guys. It is to understand the market. Right? And so when you start to understand the market, You give people a product that is sustainable and continuous, improvable, marketable. It's something that your relationship doesn't stop after you give them the one thing. Create other avenues that keeps them coming. Imagine if you could catch the same fish every day and it's just as big and just as juicy and just as delicious. Man, you're in that pond every night, 3 times a day. That is the market you have. How do you access it? We have to move from awareness to influence. Everything starts with visibility. If you don't have your business today, guess what? You're already visible. How you treated people in the past, in your personal life. When you start your business, that's the level your business starting on. That's the standard. I always say, unless you can tell the future, just treat everybody nice because you don't know where life will take you or them. Right? So your market is your family. Your market is your neighbor who you just throw the dog poop in the yard. That's your market. The person who you don't want to talk to because of something they do when they was 14 years old. Come on. We are over 40, over 30, over 70. Me, I don't like him now. When I was 15, if you know what he do. Let it go. That person could bring you business or sow into your business or be a client or talk to the family about you. You start with visibility and you're already visible because none of us are living in a box. I can see you, not like this, but when I do this, I can see you. And that's the first step in your market, being seen. Once you've been seen enough, people start to do what? Recognize you. Pastor Janelle learned that the hard way. She gets so much sight when she walk down the road now. Look, it's Lady J. Because recognition comes automatically. And if you see me in Port of Spain, well, some of you might. You wouldn't pass me straight, right? Because you would recognize me. And the more people that recognize you is the greater your reach. Because all of you recognize me, and when I advertise my business, hey, that's Gem business. Gem good in all here. She know what she doing. Those of you who got artwork for me, and you all know what I'm doing. And I know what I'm doing. Right? So I have reach. Before I even started my business and my social media drive, I already had my friends on Facebook, which, by the way, is a stone wall. I don't let everybody in. And those friends, when I advertise, they advertise. And so when I ran my first course, it sold out. I was on the phone with the last customer, and there had 2 spots left. And while talking to him, the second spot sell. He said, oh God, let me buy it one time before somebody else come. Reach. And once there is reach, people start to append a value to that reach. You know what we like to say in Trinidad? Nobody ain't going to pay that price. If I raise my prices, nobody ain't going to pay that. And they pay the next girl next year twice that. Because why? Because somebody want to pay that price. Because there's a KFC and there's a Fridays and there's a Buzo. And it's the same food. Chicken don't cost this different price when Buzo buy it, you know. It's the same food. What's the difference? The intrinsic value and the marketed value. You decide what your market is. You do not just say, well, this is how they market. No, that is not true. Because the same people who will buy a butter, well, you all probably don't know about that anymore. I expose my age. The same person who will buy the Payless shoes is the same person that will buy the Louis Vuittons. Because if they could afford it, they buy it. When people see something they want, they buy it. So make yourself something your market wants. Price your products based on your quality level and do not compromise it. Because when KFC raised by $1, $2, $5, people still buying it. You know why? Because when you go to KFC, you know exactly what you're getting. It's the same chicken, the same flavor, the same everything. There's no difference. Their quality, they will not compromise their quality. Why are you putting more flour in the bread? Why are you putting soy chunks in your beef? Raise your price. You decide who your market is. And if your market that you used to have cannot afford your food, you know what you have to do? Change your market. But you cannot just change your market and use the same branding, the same business approach, the same meals. No, you have to sell the market what they're looking for. So once you have designed your product and service, you price it for your market, and then you market based on what that market is looking for. Do I have any more time? No. All right. So we will stop there. I think that was a lot. I will let you guys see my last slide, right? About how the market actually works and how you can market to that. And just think about it as how your body works. If you want heat, you have 3 choices. You could warm the room, and then everybody will be hot with you. If you change the environment and you define what the market wants, then everybody will follow to suit. You could drink a drink, change yourself, your core, or you could take a shower. That surface, it will change quickly, but it will change back quickly, right? So you make surface changes, and it will impact the market for a little while. That's called trends. You make a core change, it will change how your business functions, and then it may change what market appears around you, or you can change the entire game. And we all have that in us to do. Thank you so much again, guys, for your time.